like to call this meeting to order. This November 7th, 24. Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller, Jeff Bass,
Here.
Charlie Bailey,
Here.
Teresa Van Hook,
Here.
Terry Holland,
Here.
Becky Devaney.
Here.
We have 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6, we have a quorum.
And approval of the minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
I will second.
Any additions or corrections?
Vice Mayor Holland, just for record, this is the water board, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll call.
Roll call, okay, Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Pass.
Terry Holland,
Yes.
Becky Devaney.
Yes.
This passed 4-0-1.
Got any delegations from any public? Mayor, let's see, well, Jason's a little under the weather, but he's doing okay. I'd like to welcome Charlie off the tape. We all got swore in, Becky, myself, Charlie. And that's all I got.
Good. Let's go ahead and look at the Comptroller's Investigative Report dated October 30th, 2024. Your first sheet would have been a press release that was released by the Tennessee Comptroller of Treasury for State of Tennessee. The investigative report just goes over the background. That just talks a little bit about Town of Oliver Springs and the employee involved in this. So the results of investigation: number 1, chief or wastewater operator misappropriated town funds totaling at least $1,022. And I won't read through all this, just kind of the highlights. So from March 2023 through June 2024, OS employee made unauthorized purchases with town funds totaling $1,022. Unauthorized purchases include a new set of tires for a personal vehicle, hardware, and other auto parts. Page 2, the summary of misappropriated funds. Set of tires, $820, auto parts, $155, hardware, $47. So first of all, everything in this comptroller's report was what we had turned in to the comptroller for them to come in and investigate this. So it is a black eye for the town of Oliver Springs, but if any good thing is, this shows that you've got the checks in place to catch stuff like this. Page 2, I guess this is finding 2. Wastewater operator made questionable fuel purchases with the town funds for his personal vehicle totaling at least $2,448. So, 2 things. Once this was found out, obviously we contacted the comptroller's office and Anderson County DA. 2 things. That employee was immediately put on administrative leave with no pay for 10 days while this investigation was ongoing. Once the comptroller come back with the findings, they did give us a dollar amount that the employee could repay to make restitution to the town. That was made in the amount of $3,471 on September the 5th. So once that payment was made on September the 5th, the employee was given the option to either resign or be fired, which he did resign. So the employee is no longer associated with the town of Oliver Springs, and restitution has been made. So on October 21st, 2024, the Roane County Grand Jury indicted that employee on 1 count of theft over $1,000 but less than $2,500, and 1 count of official misconduct. So that is an ongoing investigation, so I don't really want to talk much more about those, other than kind of what's posted in here. Deficiency number 2, Town of Olive Springs officials failed to sufficiently oversee purchase operations, resulting in numerous purchasing deficiencies. A, town officials did not provide adequate oversight and establish a written policy and internal controls to ensure proper use of town credit card and purchasing procedures. So one thing, now this was started in May of last year. So any purchase has to be approved, well, first of all, it has to be approved by a supervisor or myself. A purchase order has to be issued for every purchase. Now, your purchasing policy says anything less than, I believe, $100, you do not have to have a PO. We're changing that where everything does have to have a PO regardless of the dollar amount. So if you look on the back of that sheet, this is a invoice from Harbor Freight. This is what it should look like when these are turned in now. So we've got a stamp made, says Town of Olive Springs, received by, in this case, that was me. This is signed, dated, the date that we received this receipt. Supervisor approval will initial it, and then apply for payment will either be done by myself, Miss Ramona, or Lisa. Then at the very bottom, the cost code. In this case, it was for $1352, $13,300. So this is the water fund, the $52,213 is for the wastewater treatment plant, and the $300 is the parts and supplies account. Anything that's purchased with a model number or serial number, I've got that put back into our asset management program, where you track anything that has, again, model numbers and serial numbers, regardless of the cost. And in this case right here, there were 4 of the Viking battery boosters / air compressor packs purchased. 1 for the wastewater treatment plant, 1's in my vehicle, 1 for the office, and then 1 for the water plant. There was 1 air compressor purchased for the wastewater treatment plant. So when you go through and look at any purchase now, there should be a copy of the check, the purchase order, and this is what the receipt should look like.
So Corey, who is the supervisor? Who has the authority to sign?
So first, I guess I need to mention this too. So Dax Mitchell is no longer employed here. He went back to Cumberland 2 weeks ago. So if anything water related, then I would be signing this. Anything on the street department, Rusty's your public works director, so he would be signing that. Any of your director positions. So your library director, your parks and rec director, your public works director, and then on the water side, I would be signing all of that. Deficiency number 2, Town of Olive Springs officials failed to enforce town disconnect policies for delinquent water and wastewater department customer accounts. So in the past, you did not follow, or you did not disconnect meters for non-payment on a routine basis. There were 4, 5, 6 months in between when they would pull. So, I mean, you had accounts that were, in some cases, 10, 12 months behind that hadn't been paid. So that's why you were seeing, I think if you remember, maybe a debt account that we had close to $396,000 in uncollected debt. So that's kind of what this is laid up to now. The reason that's such a big number. Well, that's the reason that's such a big number is a lot of that was affected by COVID there too.
Did the report reflect that a lot of that had been incurred during COVID, where we had no authority to turn off the water?
No, it didn't.
That's auditors.
Yeah.
Did our response refer to that?
It is, yeah. And so starting May of last year, I mean, you're pulling meters every month now. Now, when we disconnect meters, it's not for 1 month behind, it's actually 2. So they're behind the previous month, which would be your arrears, and then the current month. So they really be 2 months behind before we're pulling meters. Mistakes happen. People's gonna be a month behind, that's fine. We understand that. But if you get 2 months behind, then you have no choice. I mean, it's not fair to your remaining customers to pay your bill on time. So that has been resolved as well. Page 5, deficiency 3, Town of Olive Springs officials failed to review all adjustments to water and wastewater department customer accounts. Any adjustment that's made on the account has to be signed by either your water department office, which would be Lisa or Deborah, and then I approve those. So my signature will be on every adjustment before it's made. So that takes care of, and again, this is stuff that the changes were made May and June of 2023. Deficiency 4, Town of Oliver Springs officials failed to sufficiently oversee payroll operations, which resulted in numerous payroll deficiencies. If you look at number A, or letter A, several former employees received town paid benefits for several months after leaving employment. So a lot of these was on your insurance where, and it's not really Ramona's or Lisa's fault. They had sent the emails in to remove those. I mean, it's more on the insurance end that they weren't removed. But that was immediately addressed once you found that. B, town officials did not reconcile payroll liability accounts of payroll records, invoices, and payments. One big thing here is you hired your third-party accountant, that's Dennis Green. He was hired in April. So a lot of your findings in your audit, which you've got there, a copy of your audit, that's for 2022 and 23. Your third-party accountant will be able to resolve, I think, 7 of those immediately. So he's coming in, getting your financials set up. Big thing was interlocal government software, where we've done a lot of stuff in the past, you know, on paper, and that's fine. A lot of those adjustments and everything weren't transferred to local government. So that's, I mean, not really a major issue. We're just trying to get everything where it's automated now. So that's been resolved as well. Letter C, in some instances, town officials, town employees did not sign employee timesheets as evidence of review and approval. So again, April of last year, we developed a timesheet where employee clocks in now, plus they manually write their time in on the timesheet. At the end of each week, they figure their time and they're assigning it at the bottom. Once that gets to me, I sign it, approve the time. Either myself or Wendy is the one that does the payroll. But your employees have to sign their own time cards, and that kind of what happened in the past. D, in some instances, overtime was paid without supervisor approval. Overtime requires supervisor approval and is documented on timesheet attachments reflecting the day, extra hours work, and justification for overtime work. So there's work orders been developed for every department we've got, the water, wastewater, collection system, distribution system, and for the street department. Any overtime that's worked should have a corresponding work order that goes with the timesheets. On those work orders is the date, address where the work was completed, what work was completed, the vehicles, equipment was used, plus any hours, parts, and material would also be included on that. So you've got your work orders, your timesheets, and then when they kind of the automated time card system, everything should match up. Therefore, you've got your documentations, which me or Wendy goes through and sign off on that. Page 6. Town of Oliver Springs officials did not reconcile bank accounts with the general ledger monthly. So July of 2023, the gentleman that was doing our reconciliations, he left, kind of mutual. So that went on for about, I guess that's 7 months. So March, April is when we hired Dennis Green to come in. Dennis Green, CPA, he's got a lot of experience working with local government. That was one of the big things that we were looking for. And that's kind of, again, one of the things that took so long of getting the right person into place for what we needed. So again, all your deficiencies were resolved months ago. This is stuff while we had the comptroller in here doing investigating, have them go through our whole accounting system. That way we kind of, I guess, start from a fresh slate. So again, yeah, blackout for Town of Oliver Springs, but again, this tells you that one, we've got most of our deficiencies fixed. You've got the checks in place to address any type of fraud, waste, and abuse.
Corey, what have we not fixed?
The main thing would be, I mean, our accounting stuff, and that's just transferring everything from a manual system to automated. And that's gonna take a little bit of
Who does that?
So that would be, Ramona does your general fund, Lisa's doing, which I've been helping Lisa a lot with, the water and sewer fund.
So how long is it gonna take to get it automated?
I mean, it's there, it's just using it.
Are they reluctant to use it? Or do they need training?
There's some reluctance to use it, and if you've done accounting the same way for 30 years, I mean, it's what you know. I mean, you're reluctant to, some people are reluctant to go from manual accounting to automated. I understand that, but, I mean, we've got to use the software we got, I mean, that's what it's there. That's what it's there for.
Well, we've got to correct these mistakes. We don't need to be staring at this again.
No, and I feel comfortable where we're at now. Again, I mean, you're starting from a clean slate now. I mean, you've had almost a year and a half comptroller investigation, and that's all they were able to find. So that's, I mean, that's a good thing.
Well, but it's enough because we just want to correct it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Any more questions about the comptroller investigation? The other thing, water, yesterday we got the approval for the 2024 Community Development Block Grant, amount of $516,000. This will be for water line replacement, 12-inch ductile iron line that runs from the water plant up Oliver Springs Highway to Old Batley Road. So that's an issue that was identified actually in our leak survey of one of our problem areas. And then the 6-inch line installation on Rome Street. Currently, that's a 2-inch galvanized line. So again, that gets a galvanized line out of the system. So 2 of those main lines will be included in that project there. The OS responsibility would be 14% of that, so you're looking at $84,000. We passed a resolution, and I believe it's April the 8th of this year, just for this grant right here. Now, the next step of this would be your environmental review. So, I mean, you're still 6 or 8 months out from getting any type of money from this.
Now, that $84,000 matching grant can be in-kind work, can it?
Yeah, it can.
So if we put a crew of people out working, then we could...
That's very possible. 3, state requested that we reapply. In 2024, we applied for an ARC grant. We didn't receive that. They sent word kind of requesting that we reapply for this, and it should score high enough this year. So this is another $250,000 that will replace about 4,000 feet of remaining galvanized lines in our system. So this should take care of any remaining galvanized pipes that we've got in the system with these 2 grants right here. The other thing, last thing, would be your infrastructure planning grant. That was $125,000. We're waiting on the contract approval from the state. And the big part of this right here was your rate study by Jackson Thornton. We were having a second and third study completed by them. You know, the first one was kind of initiated by the TBOUR, that we had to do that. So the second and thirds will be included in this planning grant here. Your water loss, we had an uptick. We're about 54%. That was due to your water sales. Our water sales last month was only 6.7 million gallons. We should be up about 10.5 million. So this is in a lot of our water loss is in the meters. So if we get all of our meters changed out, your water, and get to 10 million in sales, your water loss should be in the mid to upper 40s. So hopefully within the next couple months, we back up on that. So the crew showed up Tuesday to complete the meter installations. So we like about 220 of those being installed, and that should help us right here. The water plant, no violations in October, no violations at the wastewater plant. I believe that's all I've got. Had a major leak yesterday on an 8-inch line on Oliver Springs Highway. That was the one kind of thing I sent the text out, where we lost about 300,000 gallons in about an hour and a half. So we got that fixed yesterday about 3 o'clock. Grand Oaks School had to let out for no water, but so we got the calls about 6:15 yesterday morning, had everything valved off by about 7:15, but there was about 300,000 gallons lost. But the good thing about that is we can write that up as our water loss. So. Any questions?
That's all I was gonna ask about. Did they figure out what caused it, or just,
So, yeah, so I was out there on that one. For some reason, they tried to tie the 8-inch back into a 12-inch line. So coming up Oliver Springs Highway, a portion of the way, you've got an 8-inch PVC and you've got a 12-inch ductile iron line. So when the 8-inch come across, there was a 90 coming across, and then another 90 going across, and then the 90 going down into the 12. So there was multiple fittings put in there, so we just broke one of the, or cut a section of pipe out in between one of the 90s, capped it off, valved it off, and I mean, the leak was fixed, and you don't have to worry about most of those fittings anymore.
that's a good thing, but.
Yeah. That's all I got.
If you don't comment, Mr. Bass,
Nothing at this time.
Ms. Bailey, Ms. Van Hook.
I got a chance to go and take a tour of the water plant and the sewer plants. I gotta say, the water plant was more pleasant. But I appreciate the time you spent showing me everything. I think it's all right now.
I guess for myself, I had sewer inspection results. Did we cover that last meeting? Or, I don't know what I wrote that down for. Is it for the camera or?
So, yes, so we did, we approved the sewer inspection camera purchase at the last meeting, and they had that camera too here within like 12 days. So we've already inspected 3 or 4 lines out of the system with it. So everything's been paid for. That was $198,000 paid through your remaining ARPA funds. So yeah, that's.
Seems like they're acclimated with it.
Yeah. The company that delivered it, he spent 2 days here with us. He stayed with them while they took it out of the system, showed everybody how to run it, what to look for. And I mean, it was about a 500-foot inspection on a sewer line. So yeah, everything's good. Yeah.
So our men know how to operate this equipment this time. We're good to go.
Yeah.
So this is in a separate trailer all by itself.
It is. Yeah.
So nothing else can go in this trailer.
Nothing else can go in this trailer. There's in fact, 2 sets of keys to it.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
I do know exactly what you're saying.
And they're designated cradle for the camera, and so it's not just sitting on a table and fall off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the main one.
Corey, the letter you sent out, do you think that's helped customers understand? Do you
So,
think- Are you still getting?
you know, I've not heard a lot of feedback from it. I mean, you're going to have a certain number of people that will complain regardless. For the most part, I mean, it was a pretty in-depth letter that we sent out. So it definitely didn't hurt anything by doing that.
But you can't tell if it's helped.
I mean, I've not had any feedback from, that might be a Lisa or Deborah question, but I mean, I've not heard anything one way or the other.
That's all.
We have no old business, new business.
Performance services, we've got Brian Stone here. I'm going to bring him up, let him present.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
And whoever else, the others, I think, there were a couple, yes, up for, so congratulations.
That way over.
Congratulations. So, first and foremost, I want to apologize for the delay on the shed. There are 2 things that happened. One, the contractor that we've been working with refused to sign our subcontract because we required them to carry liability insurance. They simply wanted us to issue them a PO. We had to go through a number of negotiations to get them under contract to make sure that we could have them protect you guys and us. We had final inspection yesterday. The second thing was they have, one of their facilities is in Western North Carolina, and so Helene pretty much destroyed it. So that put a little delay, that put quite a bit of delay on getting the material here. Final inspection on the concrete pad was yesterday. They have assured us that it will be up by the end of the month. So I want to apologize for the delay that has taken, just on behalf. I'm happy to answer any questions. I just want to address that and apologize to you guys for the delay.
We thought we'd wait for your update. You'd explain it all.
So, thank you. Happy to answer any questions about the shed, though.
Is it coming from a different direction so we don't get hung up in north?
Yeah, so they've assured us that it will be here in 2 weeks, and it will take less than, they said it'd take 2 to 3 weeks for everything to get here, and then it'll be up by the end of the month. There's a plant, a piece of it in Shelbyville and a part of it in western North Carolina. So we've pushed them pretty hard to make sure that we get it as fast as possible, so.
We definitely want our equipment out of the weather.
We do too, so, yeah.
Thank you.
So, second piece, we pretty much wrapped up the development of the other pieces of work. If you remember, we kind of went through, what I wanted to do was kind of space this out a little bit, one, since the mayor's not here and Ms. Miller's not here, but allow you guys to absorb some of this information. So I brought the scope of work, and I can give you some high-level details of it. I'm happy to, if it's all right with you, Ms. Bailey, I'd love to send you an email and kind of just give you an update on, or bring you up to speed on what this is. But, yeah, I can pass these or pass them along. Essentially, we've gone through, there were 3 pieces under the initial development project that we have since removed. So I just want to address those. One was the streetlights. Unfortunately, CUB would not allow us to do any work on the streetlights. They would not even allow us to touch their poles. And so that is a significant savings opportunity that we had identified early on, but unfortunately they would not allow us to proceed with that evaluation or even an evaluation of it, not even the actual project. They wouldn't even let us evaluate it. So we had to remove that. 2, the sediment plate settler at the water treatment plant, simply due to the cost, the capital cost of it. Knowing that there was going to be little payback and the high cost, Corey and I kind of talked, and we just said we may just want to hold off on any further development. And then 3rd, solar arrays at the water treatment plant and wastewater plant. Simply due to market costs, it was the payback and return on investment was not good enough for us. So we just kind of halted. These are certainly things that we can undertake in the future, should you guys want us to, but these have been removed, at least from the projected scope. In the next 3 pages, you guys will kind of, I don't want to go through all of them, but I'll give you some high level. We are currently, it's going to end up being about a $1.2 million project with everything. I want to remind that 125 of that was the shed, and then there's substantial renovation to this building, as well as some water treatment, water actuator valves. There's a substantial amount of technology upgrades, and I'll give you a few of those examples. Cameras in this building, inside and out, cameras at Arrowhead Park, as well as some new server and some new technology upgrades that were needed here for some of the facilities. 2 cameras at the entry, security entry for traffic at Arrowhead Park, along with Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi here at City Hall, at the library, and at Arrowhead Park. So part of this project would give the city Wi-Fi for visitors and anyone within about a 500-foot radius. New LED lights all over town, not street lights unfortunately, but interior and exterior LED lights in all the buildings, and 4 of the buildings. 2 EV chargers, electric vehicle chargers at Arrowhead Park, along with the infrastructure to go with them. Those, all of these things are, other than the renovation to this building and the shed, fully pay for themselves. They fund themselves with the savings they generate, so there's no need to budget for that cost. The 2 things that do not pay for themselves are this renovation, obviously the shed. There's just no payback when you do those kind of projects. The good news is, even without the streetlights, what I'll share with you at the meeting on the 21st is our kind of cash flow, both the detailed cost and the savings, along with the cash flow for you guys. Right now, as long as nothing changes, this project is only about $15,000 a year negative. So that would mean that for the $1.2 million project, the city would only have to budget about $15,000 a year to pay for all of those. Otherwise, savings just pay for all the costs. Does that make sense? So with the streetlights, it would have been well positive. Unfortunately, we just couldn't include those in this project. I'm happy to answer any questions about the scope, but I wanted to provide you guys with this information. I plan to be back on the 21st and on the 5th 21st to share the detailed costs and savings information, and then the 5th, should you guys choose to proceed with the project, would love to talk to you about it then. The last thing I'll say is, I would ask, before the meeting on the 21st, I plan to be here probably 3 to 4 hours early. What I have found is if I can make myself available to all of you guys for 3 to 4 hours, if you can come by at your convenience at any time, I'm happy to sit down with you and talk one-on-one through any of these pieces of the project, but the cost, savings, and scope. So before the meeting on the 21st, if it's okay, and I'll work with Corey to make sure we have a space, I'll be here to answer any questions you have. You can come by just at your convenience before a meeting or any point. But I'm happy to answer any questions about the scope or anything else.
I've got one, on the Arrowhead Park, I don't see the exterior lighting. Do we not have
So
justification for the, I guess, one shining at the field?
yeah, so field lights generally never pay for themselves because simply the use is not high enough. Certainly something that we can add in or look at, but generally the installing LED lights on ball fields does not have a good payback. That may be a better grant application or grant fund usage at some point. If you guys want us to look at it at some point, we're happy to, but generally they don't pay for themselves.
Because they only burn a short man.
Correct.
So real quick, the security lights, field lights at the park will be covered under your parks grant that you have right now. That money should be available after the first of the year. So we're going to pave Arrowhead, or the trail track at Arrowhead Park, replacement of the security lights in there with LED lights, and the lights to the fields will be covered under that grant.
So do I understand you to say then that if we decide to go with another project, it's going to cost us probably a minimum of like $15,000?
So the way I'll share it, and it's a little easier when you see it on a cash flow, you'll get two things before the next meeting, and it's a little easier just to kind of walk through it one-on-one. But I'll bring two things with me. One will be a line item cost report, so you'll be able to see each of these items. You'll be able to see the cost for each one, as well as the savings if it generates any, or revenue that it generates. And two, I'll bring a cash flow. So when we build a cash flow, we usually factor in, generally you have to, these projects, if we remember, you usually borrow money up front, and then you use the savings to pay for the debt service. So savings we guarantee, so we'll guarantee you save a certain amount of money on an annual basis, and you use that savings to pay the debt service. Under this scenario, we can't get it to fully cash flow without the streetlights on a positive. So that negative, there will only be about a $15,000 shortfall, annual shortfall. So everything else would be covered by the savings it generates. Does that make sense? So before the next meeting, you will have two things. You'll have a line item cost report, and you'll be able to see the cash flow that shows kind of the year, every year of the project, the savings it generates for every year of the project, as well as the cost, the debt service that we estimate.
I'm good.
Thank you. I'll look forward to seeing you on the 21st. Thanks, Esme.
If we have anything else, we'll call adjourned. I can call this meeting to order. Joe,
Robert Miller, Jeff Bass.
Here.
Charlie Bailey.
Here.
Lisa Van Hook.
Here.
Terry Holland.
Here.
Becky Devaney.
Here.
We're have a quorum.
Did you want to do the prayer or the swearing in thing first?
We'll swear him in first.
Okay, we're going to do the swearing. This is results from the September,
This is,
5th.
November 5th election, yeah.
yes. This is Charlie Bailey, the councilwoman, the new councilwoman for Ward 3. Raise your right hand and say, "I do," or "I will," after I repeat your oath. I, Charlie Bailey, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the state of Tennessee, and the charter and ordinances of the town of Oliver Springs, and will faithfully and honestly discharge my duties as the Ward 3 Alderwoman for the town of Oliver Springs to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I will.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And next is Vice Mayor Terry Holland. Say, I do, I will, after I read your oath. I, Terry Holland, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the State of Tennessee, and the Charter and ordinances of the town of Oliver Springs, and will faithfully and honestly discharge my duties as Ward 5 Alderman for the town of Oliver Springs to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I will.
Congratulations. Say, I do or I will after I read your oath. I, Rebecca V. Devaney, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the State of Tennessee, and the Charter and ordinances of the town of Oliver Springs, and will faithfully and honestly discharge my duties as the Ward 6 Alderwoman for the town of Oliver Springs to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I will.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ready for the prayer?
Could you do the prayer, Joe?
Yes. Our Father, we humbly approach thy throne of grace, and we thank you for the elected leaders that are here tonight, and the citizens and the elected leaders on all levels of government, from the highest to the lowest. We pray that first and foremost each would seek you and seek your will, that they would serve you and not themselves. We pray that they would have the heart and mind that can come only from you, where they can look at someone with whom they disagree and work hard to create a solution, but avoid saying the terrible words of, I hate your guts, or you're evil, or you need to be destroyed, and the like conduct. We pray that those words, those thoughts, and that heart would be erased from our population, from our elected officials, and from the appointed folks that are in government. We pray for this body tonight as we deliberate, that you would give us wisdom to make the decisions about the resources that you have given us. We pray for our nation as a whole. We pray for peace in Ukraine and in Israel and the other hot spots of the world. We ask all these things in thy Son's name.
Yes, amen.
Thank you, John. Join me in the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes of October 17th. I make the motion to approve. Have a second?
I would second.
Thank you, sir. Any additions or corrections? Roll call, please.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Pass.
Terry Holland,
Yes.
Becky Devaney.
Yes.
Pass.
Have any delegations from citizens? Please come forward, state your name.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Savannah Mead. I live at 146 Garden Road in Norris, but I work at 131 South Charles Q. Severs Boulevard in Clinton. I'm a prevention coordinator for ASAP of Anderson, the anti-drug coalition for Anderson County. I originally was gonna come to you all tonight and give you all a data update, but I believe I asked Mr. Jenkins on Tuesday of this week if I could be on the agenda, so needless to say, October got away from me. I wanna be on the agenda to make the best use of y'all's time when I bring you data updates, but I just wanted to come and introduce myself to people who are new, people who are returning, and kind of reintroduce myself. Let you all know that I'm here at your all's disposal if you have any questions or need anything from ASAP of Anderson. I will also just announce that we have put up our billboard this week, our new billboard in Oliver Springs as you're heading towards Oak Ridge, just got put up this week, so if you see it, give us a little wave. It's promoting safe medication storage and proper use of your own prescriptions, not using anyone else's. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to me or just holler at me. I'm at most of these meetings. I think try to at least come to one of the 2 a month. But yeah, if you'll need anything, just let me know. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody else? Mayor, will update, as vice maker, Mayor, I'd like to welcome the new member. And I'd like to see really the next election, if we have somebody, like 5 people per ward, make it more interesting and see more people get on board with it. Corey?
Fall cleanup for debris and leaf pickup, I'm going right now, that's November 4th through November 22nd. The Oliver Springs Christmas Parade is scheduled for December 21st at 6 p.m. Lineup begins at 5. And I believe we're having a Christmas and downtown celebration. I think that starts maybe at 12 noon where there'll be events. And Becky, you might be able to tell a little bit more about this. A lot of events going on Main Street. I know Ruby's Diner is going to have a tent set up. They're going to have a dinner there. So a pretty big deal on Saturday, December 21st. Norwood Drive, speed tables. The signs will be installed November 12th through the 15th. Then the actual tables will be installed December 9th through the 18th. We're not sure on the date on that one yet. I will have a more exact date to nail down by the next meeting. Well, we wanted to put the signs up just to give residents, hey, heads up, these are fixing to be installed. Again, that was on Norwood Drive. The road repairs on Oliver Drive in Norwood. I did get a quote back from an asphalt contractor on that. That's something I'm working with. It's kind of my fault that I've not already got that done. I have been working with the contractor about repairing the road. So that's, I will have us an answer by the next meeting on that. Like I said, that's kind of back on me for not having that one done. I've had a few other issues going on the past 2 weeks. October Sky Festival, a little update about that. It was a huge success. I believe it was probably bigger than last year's. I mean, there was a crowd, all day from Main Street all the way down to Arrowhead Park. So really good turnout for that. And that's all I have at this moment.
Thanks. Comments, Mr. Bass?
Well, I'd just like to say that the city did a real good job getting it cleaned up for that. Our town needs to take pride we need to take pride in our town and try to keep most of the street, your stuff cleaned up. It's not that hard. And if you have something during this cleanup that you need help getting out, feel free to reach out to me or somebody, and we'll come by and help drag it out for you if you need to get it off your porch or out of your yard. I'm here to help. And that's all I have at this time. Oh, and I'd like to thank our newest member to the council, welcome her aboard this place.
I don't really have anything other than just thank you to everybody that voted for me, and I'm excited to be here, so appreciate it.
Teresa?
I want to welcome you, Charles. I'm glad to have you work with me. Always enjoy working with the people on council. Corey,
Yes.
how is our new health insurance coming along that we're going to be going on to the first of the year?
So that will go into effect January 1st. We've been working with a representative from the state We've got the spreadsheets and we've got to be have filled out by tomorrow and submitted. That's just basically the employees' data. We've got a meeting that will be set up, probably going to be, actually 2 meetings. One will be closer to Thanksgiving, probably the week before, where they will have a representative come in, meet with every employee we've got, go over the insurance plans, kind of the decision process for those. So that'll be a time that if any of our employees have got questions about the plans, cost, everything, deductibles, we'll have a representative here for that. They'll come back in December and go through the sign-up process, and they'll stay here all day if we need them to get everybody signed up for the right plan that they want and answer any remaining questions. So I will keep everyone updated about those dates.
Okay. Do you anticipate that will these meetings be during the workday? Will they be
Yeah.
close by where they can,
They will, yeah.
everybody can come in? Okay.
Yeah, we'll be during work hours.
Okay, next question, also for Corey. Are we gonna do anything about charter changes?
So, yeah, we did. We talked a couple months ago about having a workshop for that. If we do anything, obviously, they go back into session probably the first or second week in January. So if we do anything, I mean, we need to have a workshop probably the first week of December. So let me get everything out as far as the charters for your all's review for the 21st meeting. You know, set a date tentatively for the first or second week of December. And that would be a charter workshop.
So that's gonna be the first or second week?
Yeah, let's go ahead and probably set that.
Yeah, it gets pretty crowded.
So for December, you are at, your council meeting will be the 5th. Second council meeting will be the 19th.
I would do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, let's get the 7th, 21st. Do you want to try to have one before Thanksgiving?
I was gonna say, the sooner the better. I mean,
In case we have,
calendars
I mean, you'll have a second meeting after this, so you have an initial charter workshop and then another one to go through.
But what are the changes?
So I mean, it just, everything would be open, just, I mean, everything.
There were some proposals several months ago.
There was quite a
And
few.
we handed them in to you. You asked us to hand them in to you. The proposal, you gave us a copy of the charter and asked us to
Yeah,
mark it
I
up.
didn't get many. I didn't get many responses. I think I've got yours. Let's go ahead and set it
Well,
for,
is it worth going ahead and doing it this year? If nobody else had any changes?
Here's the general procedure. The General Assembly will convene probably the second or third week of January and then adjourn for several days for committees to be assigned and the orientation for the new members and the other activities. And then they will start taking up legislation, and there will be a deadline that will be imposed where all the bills that would be considered by the General Assembly in the winter of 2025 have to be filed by a certain day. And see, this council will probably have to strike that, the decisions as far as the amendments to the charter would have to be made and then reviewed. And if there's discussion or disagreement about wording or about what should be changed and what shouldn't be changed, that would all have to all be ironed out. Historically, unless there's a 100% vote in town council, generally the General Assembly will not consider charter changes. Now, notice I said historically. I'm not going to guarantee if it was 5-1 that they wouldn't take it up. But generally, the local senators and representatives that sponsor these charter changes want a unanimous vote out of council. Then once it passes, It might be sent back for referendum, or it may be sent back for town council to vote on it and pass it the second time after the General Assembly has passed it. Now, for those of you who are not exactly sure what a charter is, the charter is the document that the General Assembly passed in 1905 that created the nonprofit corporate organization called the Town of Oliver Springs. Some towns, there's also a general municipal corporate act that towns can elect to be incorporated under, and the Town of Oliver Springs has not done that. Because the General Assembly created us with this charter, the General Assembly has to approve any amendments to our charter for it to be valid here. And in all honesty, the drafting, the tedious type of drafting and stuff that goes with this, I would think it would be better to schedule you get the charters out and give everybody 30 to 60 days to review them, and then have a workshop to find out what the changes might be, and then get a consensus whether everybody can agree to some of the changes, so forth like that, and then shoot for the winter of 2026, that session of General Assembly. Because you would have to draft these changes in legal form, and our city attorney could do that, but the city attorney would charge a fee. Municipal Technical Advisory Service would probably do it, and we already pay them the consultation fee and the document drafting fee and so on with them, but yet they serve many other cities, and so that, you know, it's time consuming. And I would say, depending upon what charter changes are proposed, you may or may not get a unanimous approval.
I would say let's aim to do that next year, and see, you know, whatever needs to be changed. There were a couple of things we talked about.
Do you want to just schedule a workshop just to go through it, see where we're at?
Not right now, let's put it off till after the holidays.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with it.
Let's put that on for sometime like January, or February or March or something.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Because then we still have plenty of time to work through that.
Yeah.
But see, and I realize you're short-handed with staff and so on, and you've got more than you can say grace over now, but you could get all the paperwork copied and get it out to everybody within the next, say, before Thanksgiving, or certainly before the Christmas break.
Right.
And then if they're bored over the holidays, they can read this stuff and be put to sleep.
Maybe, no, if we could do that, take that up maybe in January. We're thinking about it because we'll get into the budget about March.
Well, you're probably this year where you're at your tax assessment. We'll probably start in January on this.
Okay.
So
Yeah, just go ahead and get us copies of
or
the
your tax
charter.
reappraisal.
Just go ahead and get us copies of the charter, and we'll take it up maybe even after we get through with the budget.
Yeah.
We'd still have time.
Yeah, I'm good.
But we could go ahead and mark them up. That sounds good. The other thing I had was financials. Where are the financials?
So,
They were put on the desk in front of your seats.
yeah, you should have what you'd request from all of your revenues, expenditures, and I believe she had printed out a check register.
Do we not have the spreadsheet that with all the different?
We'll have them for the second meeting in November. I'll have everything ready. I still don't like the way the revenues are coming in on the water and sewer, just because it's still wanting to pull in what was billed instead of your receipts. So we're manually having to go back in and put that number in. And that's one thing I've got the third-party accountant working on.
Is it, okay, so is it a problem with the program or what?
I'm not a big fan of local government. And yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it has to do with the receiving. And it'll put a total in, but it don't break apart what's water and what's sewer, what's garbage pickup. Yeah. And remember, Ramona, if she can tell you here, I mean, she don't have issues with hers, but she manually enters hers in.
So where are we? I mean, do you have any general idea about where we are with the water department right now? And
Your revenues for July were fine because you were at 7.3 million, I think, July, 7.7 August. I think it was 8.4 September, but you dropped back to 6.7 in October. So what does that mean in dollar figures is, if you figure 8.5 million puts you right at 100,000 in revenues on the water. So if we're anywhere above the budgeted number for your revenue, should be about 108 to 110, and you've not hit that yet. Now, on the flip side of that, your expenditures are still lower as well, just because we know the revenues have been off. Basically, you watch what you spend.
but see, I haven't seen any numbers to tell me that.
Yeah, we'll
And
get spreadsheet.
that's troublesome to me, because I feel like people are counting on us to be
Yeah,
the eyes and ears
yeah,
and to, you know, to spot something that goes wrong.
yeah.
And I feel like that's a level of accountability that if I'm gonna have that level of accountability, then I have to see numbers.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And what about the general fund?
So, revenues are off on your general fund, just because, you know, some court revenues are off a little bit right now, but let's get a spreadsheet for you before I even start throwing out numbers without them in front of me. So I do know your revenues on your general side are off, but without me throwing numbers out in front of you.
It's really hard to decide to vote for a project when I don't know. It's like pulling numbers out of the air, you know? I'm like, I can't vote to spend money. I don't know what we've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what we don't have. So why would I spend money?
Yep. Understand.
Thanks, Corey. I'm done. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take up all night.
No, it's all right. Corey, is there a contractor starting to clean up the high school?
So that is supposed to be bid out, I think, the end of November. I've talked to two contractors that's probably going to bid on that project. So I think.
Is that to clean it up or demolish it?
To demo it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's to demo it. So the initial bids are supposed to be in by May of this year. So it's been backed up, I think, the end of November. So short answer, yes, the bids are coming in.
I guess where I'm confused, I guess the old machine shop, there's a big Connex out there of trash, and they throwed a lot of heavy, like a milling machine and stuff in a big dumpster, but they busted trash bags of trash.
So that would be I'm not sure who's, that still may be the school.
We need to keep a close eye on it, because there's enough mess to fill this room up. It's like a trash bag, or about 4 or 5 trash bags got thrown in, and it hit the ground, the wind took it off. And hate to start off the school with them old, that mess flying everywhere. They're glad to see the Housing Authority finally cleaned that mess up. And on the fall cleanup, when we pick up brush, are we still doing the grabber?
Yes.
So what's the best dimension of that? Like piles of 2 foot diameter, about big as that?
Yeah, I mean, smaller brush, I mean, just, yeah, even if it's a bigger pile, they can get small sections with it. So, I mean, it'd be hard, just pile it up, we can get it.
Because sometimes it helps to be like 2 foot separate piles, and we can just grab it and go and not make such a big mess. And do we have a leaf plan? You know, how they usually fall later or something.
So, I mean, as long as the leaves are, you know, within 5 or 10 foot of the road, we can reach it with a back truck.
So they're just now getting started with it. So
They are,
maybe,
yeah. So
they may be off by the end.
Hopefully, yeah. And if not, if it goes into December, that's fine.
Maybe
Well, not at this time. Wait, I'm sorry, I do. So, take that back. So, Charlie, she may be able to explain better what's going on in December. Devaney's Eats and Treats will be open. I don't know what we'll be serving yet, but she's probably more aware of it.
Yes. We have a couple different things going on. I know at the police station, we're gonna have letters for Santa. So they always put a mailbox outside for kids to drop their letters off. So they'll have a station inside where they can write their letters and drop their letters in the mailbox. And then we're working with some other people around town to decorate cookies inside somewhere and Santa pictures. We've had a few businesses donate already to help with that. So the library is going to do story time with Mrs. Claus, as Sherry promised us helping with that. So it's starting to come together, but we're getting there. It's going to be from 12 to 5, so there'll be a lot of different things. That'll be good. And Devaney's is open for at least hot chocolate, we know, so that'll be good.
And of course, as always, I'll help you any way we can.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's it.
Chief, you're up there.
So if you notice in your package, one of the first things I gave is I'm looking at purchasing off a state bid to purchase some radar units from our THSO grant. So if you recall the things that we talked about in the budget, one of the things that I have is a THSO grant, like for this year, we have expenditures for equipment. So this right here, to buy a handheld LiDAR device, another radar for one of the patrol cars, and all the equipment we need to go with it come in at $54,8491. That does not have to be bid out because this company is who we always use. It's on state bid. This is basically what we purchase. I will submit for reimbursement. It's 100% reimbursed from THSO.
Well, I'll make the motion that we give him permission to buy the radar equipment.
Second. I think we should explain that to Charlie. The THSO, like he was saying, it's a grant, so we're not pulling anything out of our budget. It's a special grant.
We have a motion to second, roll call, Joe.
Okay, I've got that stuff in my package.
Yes, sir. If you need mine, I can give you as well.
Well, I think if I do, I'll let you know. Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Hall,
Yes.
Becky Devane,
Yes.
passed.
Next thing is you've got a BCIF monitoring report. I know Ms. Van Hook remembers it. This is basically the $70,000 we got to purchase all the vests, the helmets, and everything for our officers to have. I included got one, so request from Ms. Van Hook.
And you wore it too, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am. And so basically after this money was spent, the federal government wanted to come in and do a monitoring. That is their full report on everything, monitoring our financials, the purchases, an audit, and making sure that we had all the equipment, things of that nature that we said we bought. Is there any questions on any of that? Okay. The next thing that I had in there was a flyer. Harriman, City of Harriman and the Harriman Football League, along with Harriman Police Department, has put up, they're going to have a co-ed flag football games going on here at the end of November. They're asking for any teams that want to come together. It's going to be a 7-on-7. I know some teams can have 7 players play the whole game. Some are wanting more to swap out. So if you know anybody that want to join. And apparently from what I found out from the chief of Harriman, the finale is going to be Harriman Police Department has called out the Oliver Springs Police Department. So we were going to play 7-on-7 football game against Harriman Police Department.
What's the date of that?
It's on that packet. It'll be on the November 23rd. You know where the Riverfront Park is, David Webb Riverfront Park. As you're pulling into the left side where the soccer fields are, they're going to have that going on. And then some of our teams, they're having a touch a truck event next door at the park. So we're going to be sending our armored trucks and the motorcycle unit down there for that as well.
You gonna play on the hard yard field?
I'm not coach. Next thing is you have the monthly reports from the police department. Was there any questions on any of those? One late thing that I had come up, I'm basically kind of asking for input. So most of y'all that get up early in the morning and have to go towards Oak Ridge, you've noticed we've been continuing having problems at the Food City red light. I know this year alone, I've had to have the red light techs come out 5 times to fix the red light. So what we found out this last time is the control box that's in the red light basically says, you know, from midnight tonight to 7 o'clock in the morning, we're not going to be a red light, we're just going to flash. Allow traffic to flow through, not to have congestion right there. Well, so far this school year alone, we've had 5 instances where it has gotten so bad of moving its time that it is not changing from flashing to a red light until 8 o'clock. The school zones are already over, we've got Oak Ridge traffic coming through. It's caused us a lot of problems of a morning. So this last crew I had come out to check it, they said that the time is wandering as much as 30 minutes a day. That's what's keeping it off. So they've gave me 2 recommendations, and one being that they can actually install a GPS unit that will sync time with GPS satellites to fix the problem. That's about $1,500, okay? The second option is replacing this piece of equipment, and that's about $4,500. I've not been able to get with Corey because it's literally come in just before the meeting on the findings. I'm not sure if this is something that goes under state street aid. I'm not sure if this is something that falls into something we have to have a specific line item to work on red lights. But in the beginning, the state of Tennessee comes in and installs these, like the new one at Knoxville Highway. But as a town, once they install them, they're ours. So this is our problem.
Who paid for that? Did Food City Doc pay for that?
That was
They did originally,
They did originally?
Yeah.
when the light first went in, Food City paid for it.
Maybe we should ask them.
Yeah, I don't know. So basically what I asked for recommendations from them, they said that installing the GPS would work. They don't know the age, the temperament of the machine that it works, so we could spend this $1,500 and buy the GPS unit and it goes out next month and we're going to be spending $4,500. So I kind of asked for their expert advice and they didn't give me any. They said, take it to your governing body and say, do you want to spend $1,500? Possibly 45 later, or do you want to spend 45 now and replace everything? So
We could ask Food City if they still want to have a red light.
and that's possible as well. Because I know their hourly rate is kind of extensive. You're looking at every time I call them out, it's around $115 to $125 an hour for them to basically just come down and reset the time back to what it should be.
The Food City was willing to consider paying for a splash pad that we didn't necessarily think would be to our advantage, so maybe they could find a little bit of money for the $4,500. Because when you break that traffic zooming down the 4 lane with the red light, that's to advantage of Food City from a marketing standpoint.
Corey, you have any input?
So, what was the 1,500 again?
So basically, they have a GPS thing that can plug into a USB port, and all it does is constantly syncs time to the machine from GPS satellites. We don't know if this is a precursor that this box is getting ready to go out. We could spend the $1,500 and next week it goes out. It could last for another 10 years. It's a gamble. So I'm just asking for guidance because this is your town, and I want to know what you want me to do.
Could we plug the GPS into the new dude if it?
It'll have it internally. They're upgraded and newer. Basically, the new $4,500 box would include all this that our technology doesn't have. Because unless you know about when this red light was installed, about how old this box probably is, because I know it's not been upgraded.
Back in 1993, 94.
Perhaps the chair would entertain a motion to instruct staff to contact Food City to pay for the cost of this and report back at the next council meeting. And Food City will pay for it, that solves the problem. If Food City won't pay for it or pays a portion of it, then council could match it or take some other action.
Part of the problem, I understand that there's a certain degree of urgency when you're talking about the morning travels or that many people trying to get.
Yeah, we get a large amount of complaints from a lot of people that are coming from Oak Ridge to Oliver Springs to work, and they'll stop at Food City to try and get some food before they leave and go back to work. And pulling out at 8 o'clock with no red light is not working, and it's going to cause some liability issues if we have a major accident. And so that's why we are staying on top of getting this company to keep backing the time up. I even asked them to reset the time to an earlier hour to prevent it for in the future. However, if it's wandering anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes a day, sometimes even more a week, their recommendation is one of the two options.
Is it possible to have it set to, for like 6 o'clock or something?
It would, it'd just only last another week. So they're saying that this problem is occurring within a 7-day period, it is going off an hour. So that would last us 2 weeks then.
Could we put it in a manual mode where it
That's
just
right.
don't go to sleep at all and it just,
Where the light stay works 24 hours? Could you do that?
Yes,
till we
that
made
would be
up
an
our mind,
option.
that'd be probably the quick fix.
I would have it put in 24-hour mode where it's operational all the time until we can talk to Food City, see what they're willing to do.
Okay. Yeah, that's
What do
an
you think
option.
about that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Just don't drive after 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, the only thing that's going to be affected is your travelers from 12 o'clock at night to, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, that they may possibly have to stop at red light, but there are weight sensors on it, so if someone's at Food City or Hannah Drive, it'll change to, allow the other traffic through, but if there's nobody coming out of Food City or Hannah, it's going to stay green the whole time anyway.
I think that sounds like, I definitely, the safety issue is paramount.
Yes.
So I would set the light to be on for 24 hours, at least for now, till we can resolve it.
I'll take care of that in the morning. Yes, sir.
That's good.
Do you all, does anybody else have a different opinion?
Anybody gonna contact Food City? He's looking at you, Corey.
We nominate you for it to do that. With everything else.
She doesn't have anything to do, so.
That'd be a good conversation with the mayor, wouldn't it? Can we nominate him since he's not here?
The last thing
No, we
I,
can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
the last thing I have.
Don't you think that's the best thing right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
temporarily?
Yeah.
The last thing I have for you is codes enforcement just got me that today. I know I've been asking to get y'all updated reports from the code enforcement. This is something you can review. This is what she's currently working on, and we did have that in time to put in your packets. Thank you.
We got anybody for the fire chief? Have you heard anything?
He's out of town.
He's up, okay. Still don't have no old business, new business.
So what you have is a library grant that Miss Jessica had applied for back in July. Front is this front sheet being a grant contract. This is it's a 50/50 matching grant, meaning 5,500 Town Hall Springs. This was for the purchase of 5 computers. If you'll look at your very last AWE learning page, 2 of these computers are early literacy stations. This is really geared toward the after-school tutoring and homeschooling students. This software also has your bilingual early literacy software for Spanish and French, as well as your after-school Edge software. Page 2 of that is your quotes. This is kind of a one company that basically provides this stuff, so you only have one quote. The AWE Learning Computers, $3,563. The second one, the After School Edge program, $3,615. Your fourth page goes through the kind of the software, explains what it all is. But basically, you have your ordinance number 2024-11-7, ordinance to make an amendment to the Olive Springs FY 2024-25 general fund budget, ordinance number 2024-07-188. Whereas the Town of Olive Springs General Fund has an annual budget, and whereas the Town of Olive Springs Charter allows for an ordinance to be passed on one reading, and whereas the Town of Olive Springs Library applied for and received a 2024-25 technology grant in the amount of $11,000 for the purchase of new computers and software. This grant is a 50-50 matching grant, which means the responsibility of the Town of Olive Springs will be $5,500. This grant will transform the Olive Springs Library into a homeschool and after-school tutoring station to be utilized by the entire community.
I'll make the motion.
We have a second.
I will second that motion.
Roll call. Jim.
Wait a minute, whoa.
We got any discussion?
Corey, is this in the budget?
This is not in the budget, that's why we have to make an amendment to the budget. But you have money within the library line item due to reduced wages. So you did have a library director from the end of January to, I believe, May. So there is money in the actual library line item to do this.
Have we already bought this equipment and approved the grant?
It's all been ordered.
Well, what I'm thinking is what will the minutes say, because we passed this ordinance simply amends the budget. If we have in the past approved the grant and approved the purchase of the equipment, then we just need to approve this ordinance. If we haven't approved the grant and approved the purchase of the computer equipment, we probably need to do both.
So,
I can't remember. I've slept once since then.
So a motion to approve the grant?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Can we add that? I can add that to the motion?
Yeah, I can write it, but yeah. But see, I can't recall offhand over the years. That would have been done 4 or 5 months ago.
It would have been done in July. For some reason, I don't remember that. And I'll go look. I can look on that one.
If we did it in July and we did it again, it wouldn't make any difference. I mean, it's pretty redundant, but, and that'd save you from looking.
Well, I mean, I still won't look anyway, though.
So let's just do it, be on the safe side, let's just.
Have we already taken delivery and paid for it?
No.
Corey, how much do you have any idea what's in the library fund?
Oh, I have no idea on that. No idea on that.
Well, then how are we sure we have $5,500?
Because when we applied for this, I made sure that was there to do that. I mean, prior to that.
Because, I mean, I want to do the project, obviously, but I also want to know that we can afford it.
Yeah.
Corey, the 2025 tech grant on page 2 has the bids from the 3 different places. The low bid was $3,048 and a penny for these computers. And it's got the department, the purchase order, and then the approval down at the bottom. And I would think if it had been approved and passed, it had been signed down at the bottom.
What priority, Joe? Which page are you on?
Page 2.
Yes.
So page 2 is just those have not been ordered because she's got another bid for those.
Okay.
So this is just the 2 computers. This don't have anything to do with the 4th and 5th computers. Have the AWE software on it.
If we need to pass this, I probably would recommend from a parliamentary procedure standpoint and from a contract standpoint and for the record of the town to approve this ordinance and also include that we purchase this equipment. Prove that we got a low bid, approve that low bid. And see if we approve this budget and buy it, and we don't have, we don't have a purchase, I mean, how can you get a purchase order that's not been approved?
So, you're right.
Because it's over $10,000. Well, not really. It's only $5,500 budget.
Yeah. And the way those grants work, I mean, you pay for it, they reimburse you for it.
Now, if the staff has the authority, then we could probably just pass the ordinance amending the budget. If the purchase price is within staff authority.
still.
Isn't it, if it's over $10,000?
Well, still, I mean, regardless, for this amount, any amount over $1,000, you're going to get council approval on stuff like that anyway.
Okay,
What
well,
is required by?
why do they have to
$1,000?
direct the staff?
I thought it was more than
I
that.
took it in there. I think the mayor can purchase up to 5,000. Anything over that, I think, goes through council. Is that right, chief?
Yes. Me and you can approve to 2,500, mayor can do to 5, anything after 5 is council.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking about is a paper trail for the staff and the mayor,
Yeah,
auditors.
right.
Are you gonna look at it and get back with us?
So I was making a note. So do you want to make the motion to approve the grant and that, like you first said, or?
Well, that way you won't come back up again on the agenda.
Yeah.
You mean as in to approve the purchase of the
Yeah,
equipment as
and then-
well
and then-
as
So
to?
you approve the purchase of the equipment and then approve the budget amendment to cover the cost of paying for the equipment that would satisfy the auditors when they look at the budget.
Can Mr. Bass and Ms. Devaney agree to that? I mean, they're the ones that
If they agree to it,
made the
that's
motion and
I agree to
seconded it.
it.
okay.
You in agreement then?
So let's read that real quick.
Gee, thanks.
Sorry.
Would be,
I just want to clarify.
motion by Bass and second by Devaney to approve the grant of, what is it, $11,000
The Oliver Springs Library Grant, Technology Grant.
purchase the Oliver Springs Library Technology Grant equipment and to pass ordinance number 2024-1107 to amend the budget to properly account for grant funds and purchase of this equipment. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Did y'all get that?
4-7.
And here's, look at this, here's the grant contract right here.
Yeah.
But it does not have a signature page on it.
So the grant application, everything would have been signed, submitted.
The grant application probably would have been approved to give her authority to sign for it, but the acceptance of the grant most likely
Contract.
has not been approved.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have to put it together.
You ready for a roll?
I'm ready for roll call with Chariot.
You do it.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Hall,
Yes.
Becky Devaney.
Yes.
Passed.
Two, we ready for
What's the
Yes.
next?
B?
Yes, B.
All right, discuss Waste Connections rates and contract. The current monthly rate per home is $10.68 per month for weekly collections, and the customer provided can. Per the existing agreement, this is per the existing agreement between Waste Connections and the town of Oliver Springs. There will be a CPI adjustment to the current rate effective November the 1st that will increase the rate to approximately $11 per month. So So the big thing here is currently what residents see on their bill, they're being charged $10.20. In November of '23, Waste Connection increased that rate to $10.68. We did not pass that rate increase along to the customers because we were having so many issues with Waste Connections and so many complaints. So we did not pass that cost along. Now the cost has went up to $11. I recommend we, increase the residential rate to the $11. Waste Connections has fixed it. I mean, their issues, we've had substantial meetings with them.
Are you confident that they're gonna do a better job?
My garbage came in the middle of the street every week, in the middle of the road.
Fix most of the complaints. So,
It's not hard.
Did we put that out on bid?
so we did put it out on bid, but we never did open them because Waste Connections come to the council meeting 3 meetings ago.
Yeah,
Maybe August.
I remember the hat and hand.
Maybe August.
Yeah,
The mayor met with their manager in here and we decided just to hold off on that. So we still have bids that have not been opened for that.
well, I think we should open bids.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Yes.
Is everybody good with that?
Do you want a motion?
Yes, I do. That would be one.
I make a motion that we open the bids regarding our waste services.
Now, one thing that
Services.
let's open the bids now. That may be over their 30 days. They may have to go back and rebid, but let's go ahead and we'll open those and I'll just, if there's any changes to their bid, if it's still a good 30, it's still a good bid past the 30 days. If they need to rebid that, fine. But we do have those
I would
sealed
like to see
bids.
some bids, some current bids, even if they have to rebid them, let's get them
So
rebid.
your bids will be 2 ways. One, the way you currently are set up with the customer provided cans. The second part of that bid would be the contractor, Waste Connections or whoever providing their, like a 96-gallon can.
So can we just table this to the next meeting?
No, I think we need to just make a motion that we open the bids regarding our waste pickup services.
And then the bids will be
And somebody
recorded
needs
at
to
the next
second
meeting.
it. We need to vote
And
on
we
it.
can accept the bids or reject the bids. And if we reject the bids, we can rebid it or go back with Waste Management.
Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Or we have a motion, we got a second?
Need a second.
Yeah. Mr. Bailey.
Except Joe, it's Waste Connections, not
Yeah.
Waste Management.
Okay, Waste
Waste
Management.
Connections.
Roll call.
Okay, Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Hall,
Yes.
Becky Devane.
Yes.
Passed.
And number C is to discuss the sidewalk concrete repair needed in Tri-County Boulevard, which is the west.
West Tri-County Boulevard, so going kind of across from the, I guess the windmill end, right-hand side of Tri-County Boulevard. There are 4 repairs to that existing sidewalk. 2 of these are due to water cuts, 2 are the sidewalks just busting up. I had Rusty, went out and tried to talk with 4 different contractors, he had quotes, 2 of them wouldn't turn anything in, they said the job was going to be too small. This was the only bid that we had turned in to do the concrete repair work. It's from Nations Construction, the amount of $7,915.
Have you used this company before?
No. No, I'm not aware of them. They are local though.
And this is too big for our crew to handle?
It is, yeah, because you'll have to do a lot of forming and everything. And a lot of smaller concrete repairs, we do in-house.
You got to break the broken concrete up too, based on this bid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it also says town is responsible for rock as needed, and I do not guarantee concrete not to crack. Wow. Okay.
Well, you
Let's
can't,
buy some cracked concrete.
well, you can't guarantee concrete not to crack at all. Even on $1 million buildings, they don't, it's a clause they put in there. They cannot guarantee it not to crack. The earth moves, it's just part of it. It's Can we go what?
Temperature changes.
Temperature change, up and down? You might get them down to maybe guarantee it for 3 months. Oh, you can give them a guarantee.
All right, can we have a motion?
Is this in the budget?
So 2 of these would be paid from,
State Street aid.
well, you could. 2 of those are due to water cuts, that'd be paid from your water and sewer fund.
Okay.
And you've got substantial money in asphalt. Forgot how the wording is now.
Will the entire $7,900 be paid out of the water department?
No.
Do you want the motion to reflect that a portion be paid by the water and a portion be paid by another fund?
Yes.
Do you have the amounts?
It's, the total's $79.15, and we could just split it, there's 4 cuts or 4 repairs.
Okay.
We could just divide that.
1/2 by water department.
That's about $2,000 a cut.
Is it 1/2 State Street aid?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready when the council is.
I'll make the motion.
Had a motion, all right. Mr. Bass
Okay.
has a motion. Got a
Who
second?
seconded?
I'll second.
Okay.
Any discussion?
So this is gonna come from, part of it's gonna come from the water department,
Yeah, it'd be half from your water and
and the other
sewer.
half can come from State Street aid. How much do we have in State Street aid right now?
Over 200,000.
She said 200,000.
I'm sorry, how much, Ramona?
She
It's
said,
over 200,000.
Okay.
so that's,
Roll call, Joe?
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Holland,
Yes.
Becky Devaney. Passed.
Number D, discuss employee bonus and gift card.
So one of the things that was in the comptroller's finding was the purchase of the gift cards. Now, not so much an issue with the purchase of the gift cards is when you get the gift cards, hand them out to employees, they need to treat that as if it was like a credit card. So they need to sign it out. So there's nothing wrong with giving a gift card up to the amount of $30. In the past, you've given $100 bonus. This is all usually takes place around Thanksgiving or the week before Thanksgiving. So this year, 25th, 26th. We just want to get council approval if you want to give a bonus this year and the gift cards, or one, both, one or the other, or kind of a combination. There is money in the budgets. There's enough money in the budget for every employee here for up to $144 total.
I would asked about the, not doing a gift card and just do the bonus at 130, that way keeps the comptroller from questioning all that. Sounds like it'd be cheaper.
Well, doesn't, if we get a gift card from Food City, don't we pay, say, half for it, and they,
I don't know about that. You might ask Mom about that one. I'm not
They
sure
give us a
about that.
small discount on it when we order it in advance.
small discount. In other words, if you get a $25 gift card, you're gonna pay them $25, you probably pay them 15 or 20. So you're giving the employee a $25 value at, say, $15, $20 to the town.
The last few years, we've done $30 gift cards for like a $25 value.
It costs us $25 to get a $30 card.
Yes. It is right here for it.
That's roughly 5 times how many employees?
I think there's 44 full-time.
Work it out.
Well, everybody, 44 times, I don't have any figures here.
Figured it up.
I know.
I don't have that many fingers.
Oh my gosh, y'all are awful. It'd be about $1,000.
Well, we're good enough savings for me. So we're back to the gift card at 100.
So do what now?
Well, there's no motion on the floor right now.
I mean, that's
Well,
what
we're
we're
just
discussing.
discussing right now. We're trying to figure out what we want to put on the floor.
So it sounds like the
But
original.
if we give them the $130, so we add that to 144, so if we give them $140 apiece without a gift card, just give them the bonus and let them do whatever, that way they sign for one thing.
But remember, the town pays roughly 8% social security tax on the $140, and the employee pays 8% social security tax. So the $140 card would cost the town about $10 in social security taxes.
More than $140.
And the employee wouldn't get 140, the employee would get 132. But then whatever tax bracket, income tax bracket is, the withholding would come out of the employee. So the $140 gift to the employee costs the town around $150 after you pay, and of course workers' comp's factored in on that because that's part of payroll. When the employee only gets, say, 130 of that 140.
But if we give them a gift card,
If we give them a gift card,
they don't
I don't
have,
think there's any tax on the gift card, is there, Ramona?
No, the standard thing that we did on our Christmas bonuses, for a $100 bonus, we would have to write like $108.28 to take care of all the
Yeah. So they get
FIC
$100.
taxes and everything. That way they can say, yes, they did get a $100 bonus. Otherwise, if we just do it for $100, they're gonna get like $92 or whatever,
well, everybody buys groceries. Everybody needs cash too. I mean, it would be cheaper for the town to give the gift cards.
Yeah.
Because then you're not having to pay the tax.
And they go out and they buy at Food City. In Oliver Springs, we get 2 cents out of every dollar, out of sales tax too. It's not a lot, but it's,
So it's 100 plus 130 gift. So what it's been in the past for.
In the past, it's been $100 with
Plus a
$30 gift card.
It's been a $100 Christmas bonus for 25 years.
Yeah. I'll make the motion, we keep it as is.
do what?
I'll make the motion, we keep it as it has been in the past.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I'm second that.
Which is a $100 gift Christmas bonus and a $30 gift card to Food City.
Correct. Right.
And Corey, how much did you say we had budgeted? 140?
It was like $144.31.
That would probably pay the tax on it.
Yeah.
I'll put $100 net in the minutes, and that way the check will be for about 109 because of the Social Security.
I know that sounds like an odd number, but it was based off like 46 employees total. I mean, you've had people leave on the water side and jail side. That's why that was that number off a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion second, any more discussion?
We're ready if they're ready.
Roll call.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Pass.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Hall,
Yes.
Becky Lane.
Yes.
Passed 4-0-1.
Discuss Thanksgiving dinner on November 27th.
Okay, I need to change that. We've never done Thanksgiving dinner in the past. We've always done a Christmas dinner. So this year, we'd like to do the Christmas dinner on Friday, December 20th at 12. And we'll make that available to like previous employees, previous council members, previous mayors. If there's anybody else you want to invite, like county mayors, road superintendents, we've got plenty of time to send out letters to those people. Dudley, we'll send a letter to Dudley, make
I'd like to eat, yeah.
him welcome.
Now, we currently have court scheduled for December 20th. Ms. Walker and I have talked about that, and I've got a letter to the court clerk and the police chief canceling court for the 20th.
Okay.
We've sent out letters too to the ones that's already been, citations that's already been.
Okay.
Unless you want to feed all the people that come to court.
Do whatever.
Is that something we need a motion on? or-
From my standpoint, I think not, but I for the court.
No, it's been, I mean, you built money into the budget for this stuff. I mean, it's something, it's something you do for your
And it's within your
appreciation.
authority to approve the purchases.
I mean, it's, last year we had it at the DAV, we had Cracker Barrel catered. It actually come out cheaper than, from what we've done in years past. Plus you have plenty of leftovers, we don't too, so.
Yeah. And I think the mayor could just declare it from the chair as under your authority. Yeah, but under Robert's Rules of Order, motion second is just as entitled.
Yeah. Okay, well, we announced it. then.
Okay.
There's nothing else, I guess a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Okay.